which, as I understand, you've actually been to Houston.
I have very good friends in Houston. Very,
Really?
very good friends, yeah.
And what did you think about our fair city?
I love your city.
Awesome.
I love my friends. I love your city.
Good to hear. We'll just make that little tourist piece that we can run. Did you have any idea when you wrote this book that it would be as big as it is right now?
Not a clue. I saw this book as sort of a diversion. I would write this book. I had been offered a grant, and people said this is an important book to write. So I said, okay, I'll work on this for a couple of years. I never thought it would change my life the way it did.
Tell me about the day, though, that you learned about the lawsuit.
When I first opened the letter from my publisher saying that he was considering suing me, I laughed. Because this is a man who not only was an open Holocaust denier, but seemed very proud of being a Holocaust denier, A. And B, others had said far worse things about him than I had. So I said, why is he going after me? I devoted in a whole book maybe 3 paragraphs to him or something like that. But he chose to go after me.
When you found out that there was going to be a major motion picture made about this story, what was your first reaction?
Well, my book my memoir on the trial was optioned, so I knew it was coming along, but I never thought it was going to happen because so many books are optioned, or so many films get started, or screenplays get written and nothing happens. So when it actually, the first day when someone sent me just a little clip, I wasn't on the set that day, action, I said, oh my God, it's real, But now to be here and to see people going to see the film and hearing people react to the film, it's an unbelievable experience.
It is fantastic. I saw it. I loved it. I didn't know about the story. But to me, it's kind of a punch in the gut, as we would say in Texas, because it really is an awakening of sorts. Not just what the content of this story, which is extremely important, but to me, it's really, you have to get the truth out there and you have to fight for what you believe in. Am I right by saying that?
You're absolutely right. Look, you can't fight every battle. You can't fight every person who says a terrible thing. But there's certain battles that'll come your way. I say this to my students all the time, that you can't turn away from, and you got to be prepared. And that's what happened here. I knew I couldn't turn away from this. I knew I couldn't settle. I knew I couldn't ignore it. As many people told me I should do, many people said, you're making a mistake, you're wasting time, you're wasting your life, you're wasting your creative energies. But I'm glad I did, and now I'm very gratified about the way it's come out in this movie.
There's a scene in the film, a visit to Auschwitz. Did you make that visit?
We did make that visit, and it's exactly as portrayed. I had a certain exchange with my lawyers there. We weren't really understanding each other. It was the beginning of our friendship, beginning of our relationship, which eventually turned into a friendship. But it was a very hard visit. Auschwitz is a tough place. And it's tough to go when you're involved in a lawsuit. And then I didn't know what was going to happen. I was really very worried and very scared.
Tell me about life on the set, though, because you're watching this play out in real life, and you were a part of this. And
I was there a lot. Well, I remember one day where someone said, who has Deborah's glasses? Where's Deborah's jacket? Now, where's she going to sit? And I'm thinking, I have my glasses, I'm wearing my jacket, I'm sitting right here. And then I realized I wasn't the Deborah they were talking about. They were talking about Rachel, or someone would say, well, get Deborah over here, and I'd come and I'd say, they don't want me, So it was being an observer. It was staying out of people's way. But it was more than just that. Very often people would turn to me with questions, did that really happen? How did it happen? And Rachel is the kind of actor who wants as much information as she can. She reminded me of a researcher, practically. She's a researcher when she takes on a part. Tell me, give me. Not so much to repeat it, not so much to copy it, but she internalizes it and makes the character her own.